Hi guys, I'm Adam Wilborn from WhatCulture.
And I'm late career Val Venus.
And this is the news.
So, story number one, and it's pretty damn big. It is a topic that everyone has an opinion on, and everyone is going to shoot on in the comment section. Saudi Arabia. Nice easy topic for you for a Monday morning.
Hello old friend, it's been a while since we've seen you.
Yeah, it's been about 4 months. What have you been up to, baby? You're looking good. So the next Saudi Arabian show is currently set to take place on the 3rd of May. It doesn't have a name or anything like that yet, but there is quite a heavy speculation going around this morning that women might be allowed to wrestle on these Saudi Arabian shows for the very first time. Now, this all stems from a couple of sources. The first one, surprise, surprise, is Shagger Dave over at the Wrestling Observer newsletter, who notes that there's no Evolution pay-per-view planned for later this year. So this has led to speculation that WWE have a monumental announcement to make that will be treated on the same level as the first ever all-woman pay-per-view last year. Cage Side Seats are now speculating that that could be women being allowed to wrestle on this coming Saudi Arabian show. Now, this would be a huge step forward.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we've seen over the years, and especially since the Saudi Arabia relationship started up, that they value a good PR stunt as much as anything.
Yes.
You know, they initially started out doing all this thing so they could promote how progressive Saudi Arabia is, and then, of course, none of the women could wrestle on there, despite the fact they're going to main event WrestleMania this year. But look, we should take any wins that we can get, and this would be fantastic.
Yeah, it would. It would be phenomenal. I mean, I would suggest that perhaps this is maybe a step too far for the next show. It's only a couple of months away. It's a big step. It's years and decades and centuries old law over there that is preventing them from participating. Obviously, Renee Young did commentary at Crown Jewel, but wrestling is a bigger step forward. Now, the fact that we're even talking about this, however, I think is a pretty big win in itself. Like, that this is even being discussed as a possibility after all the negativity surrounding these events, and understandably so. We're not going to dive into that, we could be here all bloody day. But it's just kind of heartening to hear something like this start at the top of the week. So here's hoping that the women who are a huge part of WWE's success at the moment get their chance.
And speaking of women's wrestling, you may notice I look like a bit of a steak because I haven't been to bed after Fastlane yet. And
I have, because I'm smart.
Yeah. I can report, though, despite how haggard I may look, that Becky Lynch is now in what looks like to be the main event of WrestleMania. She has been inserted into the Raw Women's Championship match. Of course, it was originally going to be Ronda versus Charlotte Flair for the Raw Women's Championship match. We had a match last night at Fastlane between Charlotte and Becky. If Becky won, then she was inserted into the match. Becky won via DQ. She was locked in the figure 8 submission hold, the infamous one that Charlotte puts on everyone, despite the fact that Becky has a leg hanging off effectively. And just as it looked as though Becky was going to tap out, in came Ronda Rousey, hit her once, obviously triggered the DQ, and then just stood there, and we all felt a little bit awkward and thought, what's happening here? But you know,
what are you doing, Ronda?
I sort of get it in one way. Look, Ronda's objective was to make this a triple threat. She wanted Becky in the match. But it just seemed a little bit weird that after going on an absolute tear and saying wrestling's fake all week, she just came in and went, there we go. But then that might be part of the story, and we might get more developments on that tonight on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, this storyline, man, it's very close to jumping the shark. I think the match is going to be phenomenal, obviously. It's going to main event, it's going to be a hell of a spectacle, but this storyline has gotten really, really weird. Like, that whole thing felt extremely anticlimactic. Like the Becky versus Charlotte match, it was an injury match, so it was never going to be anything epic, but it just felt like this weird overlong angle, and then Ronda comes down and the whole thing just goes down like a wet fart in an elevator. I don't know, man, this was extremely strange. A really weird way to get her to win her shot back after winning the Royal Rumble and engineer this main event. I'm very confused, Adam, and I hope it gets better on Raw tonight.
Yeah,
I'm sure it will.
I think it will do. I think now they've finally got where they need to be. They've got the 3 women into that main event, into the women's title match. And now, just let's stop Becky selling so much. Let's try and make that a sort of something that they can allude to in the match, but isn't a central part of it. Let's keep on making Ronda look like a badass and just tearing through people. And let's keep having Charlotte Flair using her now and being a bloody favourite of Vince McMahon.
Bloody good heel. Yeah, that's the way to do it. I think that's definitely the way to do it. Just stop with the overwrought storytelling, please. Anyway, we started with one of the comment section's favourite subjects, Saudi Arabia. We're going to move on to the comment section's other favourite subject, Hulk Hogan. I'm only joking, we're not talking about Hulk Hogan.
Thank goodness.
AEW. Kind of, sort of, maybe. Speculation. Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows.
Remember them?
Remember them? My brothers in baldness, the Follicle Twins. They are apparently, they've thrown their future up in the air. According to PW Insider, they were offered a multi-million-dollar new WWE contract at the latest set of SmackDown tapings ahead of their deals expiring this September. And guess what? They turned them down. Now this is interesting. Carl Anderson is 39 years old. Luke Gallows is 35 years old. At this stage in their career, they're probably thinking, well, we've probably only got 1 or 2 more big contracts in us. Given the way the wrestling labor market has gone lately, you've got to think that these guys have probably had their heads turned by what's going on with AEW, and that perhaps they're looking at testing the free agency waters come September. Interesting situation for them because they haven't really done anything in WWE. They're a good tag team. Carl Anderson is particularly underrated, great wrestler, just doesn't get a chance to do anything. But there's always been this assumption within WWE that they're kind of happy just being there and having this kind of easier style of wrestling after so long in the business, after being in New Japan for so long, and that they're just kind of having fun on the road with all their mates. But if they're looking at options elsewhere, perhaps they might be seeing this as a chance to link up with some of their former Bullet Club cohorts.
Yeah, I've got a lot of time for them taking a look at this deal, and they could quite easily, no one would blame them, like you say, for just sitting back, taking this big deal and continuing doing what they're doing. But they clearly want to continue in their career, continue showcasing their amazing abilities, and whether it be AEW or Southpaw Regional Wrestling, we wish them best as they go forward. Chad Too Bad and Tex Ferguson, 2 of the greatest wrestlers
Two of the greatest of all time.
to have graced Southpaw Regional Wrestling. Look, I'd like to see WWE do more with them. I'd hope that this will make WWE, a bit like they did with the Revival, recognise they've got such talent on their hands, but it could be too little, too late.
Yeah, it absolutely could be. And I think that if we hear news of a New Japan All Elite Wrestling relationship, that opens up the possibility of guys like Gallows and Anderson going there even more. Because they can do whatever the hell they want.
Or sod it, just have Balor Club in WWE. Hey. And speaking of Finn Balor, he is set to defend his Intercontinental title tonight on Monday Night Raw, part of 2 announcements that WWE have made this week and confirmed last night as part of the Fastlane pay-per-view. Yes, he's going to defend his Intercontinental title against Bobby Lashley. Of course, he won it at Elimination Chamber in that handicap match by pinning Lio Rush. Controversial and all that. So hopefully they have this match. Fingers crossed Finn Balor wins and we move on, because we're only less than 4 weeks away from WrestleMania now. We can start building to some decent storylines going into WrestleMania. Maybe a multi-man match with the belt hanging high up above the ring, but who knows? Let's just get on with this. And speaking of Monday Night Raw, we also are guaranteed Batista. He is going to have a head-to-head, a face-to-face confrontation with Triple H tonight. Of course, he didn't want to go to, was it Pennsylvania last week? I think it was.
Philadelphia, yeah.
Philadelphia, yes.
Pennsylvania.
But now he is going to be there. He's going to be there tonight. More developments on the storyline, and fingers crossed, more build to what we hope is Triple H versus Batista at WrestleMania. Yeah. He's always said that he wants to come back. He wants to have another WrestleMania match. He wants to have another run, but he wants it to be on his terms, and this looks like just what he was looking for.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. The only hope I have for this is that they get rid of all the Russoisms. None of this fourth wall nonsense. No talking about Richard Fleer or whatever, however Triple H pronounced Ric Flair's real name the other week. That was weird, but I'm loving having Dave back. He cut that cool little selfie promo the other week. The beatdown of Ric Flair in his birthday party was obviously extremely well done. I think that match is going to rule, honestly. I know they're both like 50, but like they can have a fun brawl, right?
Yeah.
Like they can
big spots, that's it. Yeah. 10 minutes, thanks a lot, boys.
Exactly. Don't go 30 minutes, Triple H. I know what you like. Anyway, final story of the day. Well, not quite the final, second final. The Undertaker, this guy. Who knows what's going on with this guy at the moment? Well, we do, because we're the newsboys. The latest situation with him. Obviously, he's signed to appear at StarCast 2. Now, there is some more updates from good old Shagger Dave. He reckons that The Undertaker and WWE have been back in communication. Apparently, The Undertaker has signed on for a meet and greet with WWE later this month, and there are now talks for a small WrestleMania appearance. He doesn't say anything about wrestling or even anything about a potential Hall of Fame induction, which would usually incur a WrestleMania appearance as well. So it's all very up in the air. For all we know, he could just show up in the backstage area and tip his hat at Finn Balor or something really weird, or he could be sitting in the crowd waiting for John Cena to show up, having a few bevs and then getting squashed. I don't know.
Mark and Michelle just chilling out on the front row. Cheers.
Mark, Booger Red. Yeah, what do you think of this? Do you think it's WWE just kind of try to reel the big man back in?
I think as much as people want to sit here and say he's not going to make a WrestleMania appearance, he is. I think this is a perfect example of what's going to happen. And I'm going to WrestleMania for the first time. I've never seen The Undertaker wrestle. I'm not saying I want to see him have another big match, but I'll quite happily have him interrupt another Elias segment. Yeah. Gong, blackout, appears, choke slam. Thank you very much. See you later, everyone.
That'd be fine. Yeah, no matches, please. Just don't wrestle ever.
Please don't wrestle. Please don't wrestle. Yeah, I think a little appearance at WrestleMania this year. Yeah. Fingers crossed.
I'm with you.
Right, final news story of today, and it's some sad news that we bring to you, of course. You're probably better because I'm really bad at pronouncing names.
Wally Yamaguchi.
Thank you. Has unfortunately passed away. You may remember him for as manager of Kaientai, of course. A truly legendary figure. His brother was on commentary on Fastlane last night, which is an incredible achievement just to show up to work after something devastating like that has been revealed. But yeah, a legendary figure within WWE. And it'll be greatly missed.
Yeah, 100%. He was a big part of the Attitude Era. Obviously, a certain storyline with Val Venus comes to mind. Bags of fun. Yeah, really sad news breaking over the weekend. And our thoughts and prayers go out to his friends and family at this difficult time.
Indeed. Right, let's move on to your Twitter questions today. Don't forget you can tweet them at us at WhatCulture WWE. I saw this overnight, and I wanted to share this with you just because it popped me. Storms Crier says, my 4-month-old daughter is really upset when someone sneezes in her presence. Is she turning into Vince McMahon? The reason why I wanted to ask that is I want to know what your favourite Vince McMahonism is.
My favourite Vince McMahonism?
So whether it be hating sneezing, hating nodding.
The story about him not knowing what a burrito is, I think is pretty tremendous. If you don't know the gist of that, Google it. I can't remember who told it instantly, but apparently for years and years and years, Vince McMahon was eating a burrito every day for lunch, and he didn't know it was a burrito. He thought it was just called a steak wrap with ketchup, pal. And yeah, when he finally found out, it just blew his mind. It's like someone asked him one day, do you want your burrito? And he went, what
the hell's
that? What are you talking about there, pal? But yeah, it's a funny one. Google it. It's funnier than I make it sound.
And it's funnier than the fact that he finds one of the funniest things in the world is throwing fully clothed people into swimming pools. That to him is comedy, which
hilarious.
Explains a lot.
How about the moment in Beyond the Mat where he's sitting behind his desk and he's telling the camera what WWE is really about, and he says, I hope the matches serve as the entree to what we're really about. Takes a sip. We make movies. Freak.
Absolute freak. Right, Zachary Linder sends our second question of today. He says, with WWE booking wrestlers who are typically heels as faces, or vice versa, Daniel Bryan, Miz, Owens, who else do you think they'll flip in the near future?
Ooh, that's a very good point. Who will they flip? It's going to be someone that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. It's going to be Bayley and Sasha Banks.
Oh, God.
For no reason. Big heel Tamina coming soon as well. Big babyface, sorry. Yeah, no, I think like the way they turn people these days, there doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason. Fortunately, a lot of them have really worked out. Daniel Bryan, Becky Lynch, obviously. Yeah, Becky and Sasha, why not? Doesn't make any sense, so they'll do it.
I'm going to go with Finn Balor because I'm just really hopeful that they do that. He needs something to relaunch that character.
He's a great heel as well.
If he could, cling on to that Intercontinental title and slowly have that thing where he almost goes full Tommaso Ciampa and starts valuing the belt more than anything else. I'd love to see something like that. But yeah, more than likely they'll turn No Way Jose or something ridiculous.
Big heel No Way Jose.
Final question comes from Fishy on Twitter, who says, so we're all agreed Daniel Bryan is Captain Planet. As of course we all agree that.
Sure.
Daniel Bryan is Captain Planet and Rowan is one of his Planeteers. Who else would make for good Planeteers? Because I'm saying Rowan is fire. We need wind, water, earth and heart. Who would you pick to be one of the Planeteers?
Rowan is fire.
Rowan is fire, because... except that he's on here.
Sami Zayn, man, like he's a really switched on guy. He's really socially conscious. Quick look at his Twitter feed only shows that. Obviously, he had all the Sami for Syria stuff, which was criminally ignored by WWE on television and stuff. Sami Zayn's a pick. I'm not sure which element he would be, though. Maybe wind, because he's really fast.
He can't be wind, unfortunately. I've picked wind, and that is Natalya, because when they had that farting gimmick all those years ago.
God.
She is wind. She's one of the Planeteers. But let us know who else you think should be Planeteers.
Earth is obviously the boogeyman because he eats worms and they live in Earth.
Let us know who you think should be part of Captain Daniel Bryan, Captain Planet, and his Planeteers in the comments section below. Right, let's move on to today's and finally. We always bring the banter, but we are specifically bringing you our version of banter now because we are very pleased to announce that over WrestleMania weekend, we are going to be there, of course, reporting on everything that goes on, all the shows, etc., etc. Even DDT. But on the Monday, before the Raw after WrestleMania, we are going to be doing our very own live show for 3 hours. I think it's 3 till 6 p.m., something like that. All the details are online. We're going to be at Stand Up New York. Tickets are available now at whatculture.com/tickets. And we are guaranteeing we're going to have a Q&A. We'll have a live bloody good quiz. We'll have banter. And most importantly of all, don't worry everyone, Simon Miller is going to be there. So if you want to come to that, we're going to have a great time. The excitement post-WrestleMania, pre-Raw, after WrestleMania. Make sure you come along. $15 tickets, whatculture.com/tickets to come along. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, this should be bags of fun. It's kind of funny that us nerds who make videos on the internet are now bringing this to the real world. But yeah, no, it's going to be super cool. We'd love to see as many of it along as possible for a nice glass of soft drink and some witty banter with the boys. Exactly. And also, like, I'm really looking forward to like arranging me, Jules, and Simon Miller in order. So it's like a Russian doll of bald guys that work for WhatCulture.
Indeed.
Weird. That's a weird comment.
Banter guaranteed or your money back. Banter is not guaranteed and your money will not be refunded. But make sure you come and check it out. And thanks for watching us on this channel because we wouldn't be able to do that.
Exactly. It wasn't for all the great people out there.
Exactly. But let us know your thoughts on that and all of today's news stories in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can even follow us on Twitter. You can follow him at
Andy H. Murray.
You can follow me at Adam Wilborn. You can follow all of us here at WhatCulture WWE. My thanks to Andy Murray. Thank you for watching. I'm off to bed, and we will see you soon.